Crystals like this amethyst geode are the rock stars of mineralogy and the obsession of a collector in Seattle. Tracy Smith shows us the goods.
Seattle, Washington wears its natural beauty out in the open, but the views can be just as stunning indoors if you know where to look. In a neighborhood not far from the Space Needle, there's a warehouse that looks like Mother Nature's private museum. For security reasons, they won't allow us to show the exterior because inside there are these giant crystals, some the size of a compact car. And perfect formations, brilliant white or clear as glacial ice.
When I think of crystals, I think of those little dainty things that people wear around their necks.
This is not one of those.
Collector Richard Berger found this one in Namibia.
This crystal is 7,000 pounds.
Berger has spent his adult life, and he says most of his money, chasing the biggest, most perfect specimens he could find. And he's especially proud of these. They're called concretions, great swirling masses of rock from Fontainebleau, France, formed into fantastical shapes when ancient hot springs suddenly cooled.
So it's almost like liquid was suddenly frozen.
It went from water to rock in minutes.
And what might be more amazing is how Richard Berger's rocks have transformed him. In 1968, he was a Philadelphia medical student on a road trip across America when he happened across a tiny shack in Wyoming with crystals for sale.
I saw this little piece, and it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. Right, and I was completely enchanted by it.
So enchanted, in fact, that he dropped out of medical school and basically roamed the earth buying the biggest and most startling things ever dug up.
This is amazing because it looks like someone made this.
This is a photographic memory of life on planet Earth 52 million years ago.
It's actually the fossilized bottom of a tropical lake, imprinted with ancient fish around a palm frond, dug up in what's now Wyoming. And this quartz crystal formation looks like it came straight off a Superman movie set.
So this is from Krypton?
This is from Krypton, also known as Arkansas.
Some believe that just handling a crystal can have a healing effect, and they've long been symbols of power. Just look at the crowns used in British coronations.
The Archbishop lifts the crown of St. Edward and holds it for a moment above the Queen's head.
And what's on their head? Mostly diamonds, rubies, sapphire, emeralds, crystals that have been cut into a variety of shapes and made into a hat.
Long live the Queen.
He's never owned a crown, but by 1977, Richard Berger had collected enough crystals to open a store in his native New York City. Miriam Dyack and her girlfriend were customers one day in 1982.
He thought my friend was cute. He didn't really notice me.
Paid no attention to her whatsoever. I made up for it, though.
Long story short, they married in 1985. And as their relationship grew, so did Richard's collection.
But are there times, Miriam, where you have to say to Richard, enough is enough?
Oh, I've tried. I don't think I'm very effective at that.
I think that's an understatement.
They've managed to make a living selling a piece here and there, but most of their money has gone back into this collection, which they say has now become too expensive for them to keep.
I mean, yes, we need to sell it because otherwise we'd have nothing.
This represents a very, very significant investment, but that doesn't mean that we left enough for ourselves, right, to live that comfortably. So, you know, we have our 15-year-old car, and we have no stock portfolio, and we don't own a house, and we live in a 315-square-foot apartment. And we
Yeah, we live in a tiny house.
315 square feet?
Right.
Yeah, the crystals get 6,000 square feet.
Right, and we are sitting on the greatest collection of giant crystals in the world.
They're hoping to sell it all to someone who will keep the collection intact and build a museum around it. Berger won't quote a price, except to say it's in the multi-millions. They've had offers, but only for individual pieces, like the Wyoming lake bottom.
For instance, we had somebody who wanted to come in, like, 6 months ago who wanted to put it in the lobby of a new Sheraton that we're building.
And you said?
I said no. With 5 cents in the bank, I said no to selling that, right? Because we're trying to hold the integrity of this collection together, and we don't want to sell off iconic pieces. You know, at a certain point, if that becomes improbable to sustain, then you go, all right, enough of this.
But not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
After all, they're not just rocks. To Berger, they're the foundation of a dream he wants to share with the world.
Is a way of inspiring people, right? It's about inspiration. I think what the world needs right now, more than just about anything, is inspiration.